might be the last one. Could you know?
I think this will be the last one.
Do you think that Benghazi incident will cause Obama to be impeached?
I think if Barack Obama kidnapped Shirley Temple at age 6 and blew her brains out on national television, he wouldn't be impeached over it. I really believe that there is no way that this guy is going to be impeached. Because of the media, because of the wind at his back, because the idea of impeaching the first black president, I just don't think impeachment is going to happen. However, he's in trouble. He's in real trouble. And not just over Benghazi. He overreached on the guns thing and it blew up in his face. He overreached on the sequester thing. I had a flight canceled into LAX because of government cuts to the FAA. Right. They have more money than they had 2 years ago, and they had a lot more air traffic then. And some miracle, the Congress stood up and said, you are going to put the air traffic controllers back to work, and we're not going to give you more money. That was a huge win. Barack Obama's in real trouble. He's in real trouble. And frankly, folks, since he's been reelected and since all of these tides are coming to wipe them off the earth as a political philosophy anyway, can I be clear on this when I say wipe them off the earth? I mean philosophically, right? I don't want to harm a person's head, a hair on their head. I really don't. I'm heavily armed, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to tolerate being assaulted, but I don't actually want to hurt anybody. So, I think Benghazi is starting to get some traction. I think it won't go away because you can silence the media, and the media has been utterly, the media ran Abu Ghraib, which was a disgrace. Abu Ghraib was a disgrace committed by a few privates, corporals, and sergeants over the course of 3 or 4 days. The New York Times made that a front page story for 42 consecutive days. Now we have an ambassador dead. We have 2 unbelievably heroic SEALs who went back, a 4th person who was killed. All of the survivors have been sequestered and threatened with lawsuits if they so much as open their mouth. They're all lawyering up. Do these people actually believe, something like, I think they got like 20 people out of that consulate. Do these people actually think that they're going to keep 20 American citizens silent for the rest of their lives? It's not going to happen. Of course it's going to come out. And the more they suppress it, the more it's going to hurt them. And look, here are the indisputable facts about Benghazi. Indisputable facts about Benghazi are this. They knew instantly that it was a terrorist attack. One of the chairmen of the Joint, I think the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said, we were looking at this from a surveillance drone and we saw incoming mortar strikes. You don't carry mortars to a protest about a movie, and you don't have them pre-zeroed in on a position surrounding them. They said the instant that attack started, we knew it was a terrorist attack. And yet, the president sent the Secretary of State out and for 21 days said, no, it's a spontaneous reaction to a movie. By the way, that filmmaker who had the audacity to speak his mind, thinking, of course, he was an American citizen who might be protected by First Amendment rights, still rots in a dungeon as a political prisoner of Barack Obama's cover your area policy to get reelected. That guy's still in jail. But what we also know is that the President of the United States of America heard that one of his consulates was under attack, that one of his ambassadors was either dead or missing, and he went to bed. And the Secretary of State couldn't reach him for 8 hours, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff couldn't reach him for 8 hours, and if they had reached him in 8 hours, those guys would still be alive. Do you know that the Al-Qaeda people who launched this attack, they actually heard a little bit back from them? Do you know that when these guys found out after 7 hours that these two former SEALs who were told to evacuate, they said, we're not evacuating, we're going back to help those people. They said, I order you to stay here. They said, you can take your orders and stuff them. I'm going back, there's Americans under fire, I'm going to go back and help those people. Those 2 former SEAls went back there. Yes, you're darn right, you should applaud for them. They went back there. And they fought using the ammunition they could find on the ground for almost 8 hours. It would have taken our in extremis response team 2 hours to get there by helicopter. And as I said in that speech at the Horowitz event, if I'd been the President of the United States and I'd been advised that this was happening, and they'd said, 2 hours to get there, Mr. President, I said, I want those helicopters in the air now. And then I would have gone to the Chief of Naval Operations and I would have said, how far away is our nearest carrier group? And he would have said 22 minutes at the top speed of an F-18. And I would have said, I want F-18 Hornets over Benghazi now. I want them 500 feet above those buildings. I want them supersonic. I want a sonic boom over that city every minute for the next 2 hours. I want those people to know that we're coming, and I want our people to know that we're coming. And if we break every window in Benghazi, they can bill us. And if we'd done that, If we had done that, and if those guys had gotten there, they would have saved those two. Those two SEALs fought for 7 hours, and they were finally killed by a mortar strike. A mortar killed them both, and during the previous hour or two, they had a laser target designator on the mortar that killed them, waiting for the airstrike that never came. It's the most disgraceful thing that I can think of in the history of, certainly as long as I've been alive. I can't imagine a more appalling, disgraceful, impeachable offense than that. You leave those men out there to die? The President of the United States let those men out there to die. They were fighting for the flag that he swore to defend. It's a catastrophe. And for those people who say, by the way, for those people who say, well, it could have been worse, what if he sent them and those guys had died? What if he sent the SEALs and they shot down the helicopter? I would have said, well, then shoot down the helicopter then. That's why these men sign up, you know. These guys who are in these SEAL teams, these in extremist response guys, not just the SEAL teams, by the way, it's not just the Navy, all those Special Forces guys, they live for this moment. They know what the risks are. They signed up to go and save American lives. Send them. Because every single American in the world and every single American enemy in the world ought to know that if you shoot at Americans, we are coming to get our people out and we're going to track you down and we're going to kill every last one of you, so don't do it. How hard is this? It's going to cost him. This story is going to get out sooner or later, and it's going to cost him. And I think it's going to cost Hillary Clinton the nomination, and it certainly should. We'll do